Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about unusual ways that the average person in the United States might be able to influence foreign policy. We're going to do this because I got a message with a really cool question in it. The message is really long. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but in relevant part, says, I've realized how much influence regional power allies have over U.S. foreign policy. And then it goes on. This person is definitely more concerned about Saudi Arabia having influence than what most people are right now. And then the next relevant piece in the video where you were answering the questions from the college girl and talking about all the different things that influence U.S. policymaking, I became a little depressed because, as you say, it's complicated. But then I thought, because there's so many factors, maybe there's a way for average, everyday people like me to do something to modify one of those factors to influence foreign policy. So my question is there something the average person can do to get the U.S. out of the Middle East? Yes. Yes, there is. And you're going to laugh. I think a lot of people are going to laugh when I say it, but it's true. And it's two words. Go green. If you want to get the U.S. out of the Middle East, go green. Why is the U.S. in the Middle East? Why is it so important to U.S. foreign policy? And everybody right now is saying oil, right? I mean, it's more complicated than that. It's foreign policy. It's never that simple. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of like a big part of it. I don't think I have to go into a lengthy explanation of that. We're talking about the U.S. There's jokes about it, that chicken's so oily the U.S. drew up plans to invade it. But you still have to know why. Why does the U.S. care? Because U.S. infrastructure runs on oil. And though we have our own supplies, the oil market is global. If something happens on the other side of the world that disrupts oil there, it impacts U.S. prices, which means everything goes up and it hurts the economy. That's why the U.S. keeps such a close eye on the Middle East, because there's a whole lot of oil there. That has a whole lot to do with it. So if the U.S. infrastructure, meaning your car, didn't require as much oil, it becomes less important. The disturbances might still occur, but they're not something that would be a national security risk because they disrupt the entire economy. You go green. Now, certainly, people are going to say there is more to it, and there is. And there's two main things that people are going to say. The first is, don't touch our boats. The Suez Canal. Right, that can be done from the Med. The U.S. doesn't need a physical presence in the Middle East to secure the Suez. That can be done from ships. The other is extremism. I'm going to suggest that if maybe the U.S. wasn't taking such a, let's call it an active role in the Middle East, there might not be as much animosity. Kind of one of those out of sight, out of mind kind of things. Now, would that get the U.S. out of the Middle East totally? No, because you still have other issues. Like you have states trying to become nuclear states. And the U.S. would still try to check that. But it would be more like what the U.S. does in regards to North Korea than what you've seen in the Middle East for decades. If you want to get the U.S. out of the Middle East, go green. Because what you're doing, you're not really influencing foreign policy. I mean, you are, but you're doing it in a very roundabout way. The reason U.S. foreign policy is what it is because of the demand. If you remove or significantly reduce that demand, foreign policy will change because it's no longer as important. Go green. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.